These 7 factors could shape your decision about Social Security at age 62. Have you ever asked what makes Social Security so compelling? It is not only about the numbers, and it is not even just about planning methods, charts, or other advice people share online daily. What truly stands out is that one of the biggest financial decisions you will ever face does not feel like a decision at first, until suddenly it does. Around the age of 62, something quiet yet powerful starts to unfold. An opportunity appears quietly, and many people do not realize that stepping into it too soon or waiting too long can shape the rest of their financial future in ways they never expected at all. Here is the reality. Roughly two-thirds of Americans claim Social Security as soon as they become eligible at age 62. Not always because it is the smartest move, but because it seems the most obvious. It feels reachable, it feels earned, and it feels like, why wait?
But what if this moment, this plain-looking decision, is actually one of the most overlooked financial choices you will ever face? It is not because people do not try to make the right call, but because the system is complex. Even experts do not agree. Financial advisors may suggest one path. Online conversations often favor another. And even the Social Security Administration once built a calculator to help people through this choice, only to quietly remove it later because it was used incorrectly by many. Think about that for a second. A tool made to help people navigate a life-changing financial choice became so misunderstood that it had to be removed altogether. That alone tells you enough. This is not a simple yes or no call either. It is a personal one. Today I want to walk you through it in a new way. Not just with numbers, but with clarity. Not just with theory, but with practical sense. Because the real question is not whether you should claim benefits at 62. The real question is when claiming at 62 can make sense for you in practice. Consider it from another angle entirely right now. Imagine your Social Security benefit like a faucet. Behind that faucet is a pipe that has been filling throughout your working life. Every paycheck and every tax payment adds pressure inside it. It works like this. The longer you wait to open the faucet, the stronger the flow will become. If you wait until 70, the stream is strong. If you open it at 62, the flow is lighter instead. But here is what many people miss. That faucet belongs to you. You paid into it. And if you wait too long to turn it on, some of that money never reaches you. It stays in the pipe, unused and lost forever. There are no refunds and no do-overs here. So the real question is, when should you turn the faucet on so you can benefit from what you earn today? Before looking at the emotional side of this choice, it helps to ground ourselves in something practical, the math. Beneath everything sits a mathematical reality many people oversimplify. Picture a person named Pat. Pat spent his career earning a steady income of around $90,000 in his final year. Not wildly rich, not struggling, just a normal, hardworking professional. Now Pat has 3 choices. He can claim Social Security at 62 and get about $2,138 each month. He can wait until roughly age 67 and get about $3,198 each month instead of now. Or he can delay until 70 and receive $3,166 per month. At first glance, the answer seems clear. Wait longer and get more. Simple. But life rarely stays that straightforward. The real issue is not how much you get monthly overall. It is how much you collect across your whole life. And that is where the math shifts. Let us look at what is called break-even analysis. This is the simple calculation many people use. If you claim early, you get smaller checks over a longer stretch. If you wait, you get larger checks over a shorter stretch. At some point, those two paths cross. That crossover, usually somewhere in your early 80s, is where lifetime benefits roughly balance out. So, if you live beyond that point, waiting is often the better choice overall. If your lifespan is shorter, claiming early can produce more money for you overall. Here is where it gets interesting. Many people assume life expectancy is around 79, but that number is based on life expectancy at birth. If you have already reached 62 without major health issues, your expected lifespan is closer to 84 by estimates. That is a major difference and changes the math. Returning to Pat, if he claims at 62 and lives until 84, he could collect about $615,000 in total benefits. But if he waits until 67, he may collect less overall, leaving him about $72,000 behind compared with claiming early instead. This surprises many people because we are often told waiting is always the better move. Yet a small change in assumptions can alter the result completely. If Pat's life expectancy falls by just 3 years from 84 to 81, delaying suddenly becomes the better choice. Drop it to 78 and the gap nearly disappears, with the best approach possibly landing somewhere in the middle, maybe near 65. This is the point where the illusion breaks down. You may think this decision is about picking the best age, but it is about something more uncertain, not knowing how long you will live. No spreadsheet, calculator, or advisor can determine that for you. That uncertainty is the real variable, the heart of the entire decision. Now, let us bring in something many people overlook: inflation, cost of living adjustments. Each year, Social Security benefits are adjusted to keep pace with inflation. Here is where the math becomes powerful. If your monthly benefit is larger because you waited, your yearly increases will be larger too. It compounds over time. A 3% increase on $3,060 is very different from a 3% increase on $2,038 monthly benefit. Over the years, that gap does not widen, it grows. When modeled carefully, the difference between claiming at 62 and waiting until 70 can reach hundreds of thousands of dollars, possibly around $246,000 over a lifetime. That is not a small detail. It is life-changing. At this point, you may be thinking the answer is obvious. Just wait. But it is not easy. Life is not a spreadsheet. It is lived through experience, health, relationships, timing. There are very real and sensible situations where claiming Social Security at 62 is perfectly acceptable. It is the smartest choice you can make. Not emotionally, but logically and strategically. Let us look at 7 situations where claiming early works. First, your health or family history. If close relatives passed away relatively young or you have faced health issues, your expected timeline may differ from averages. Most financial guidance is built on averages, but your situation may not match them. Waiting for a larger monthly benefit only pays off if you live long enough to benefit. Otherwise, you are leaving value behind. This is realism, not pessimism, and realism lets you make decisions based on your own life. Second, wanting to enjoy retirement while you are able. Retirement often unfolds in phases: the active go-go years, the slower slow-go years, and eventually the more limited no-go years. A dollar at 63 is not the same as a dollar at 83 in experience. Matching your finances to the time when you can enjoy them can sometimes be the wiser move. Third, spousal benefits. Social Security decisions often involve both partners. If your spouse has lower earnings or work history, they may qualify for spousal benefits, but only after you file. Delaying your claim might mean your spouse gets nothing during that time, which can affect the household's overall picture. Fourth, a spouse's serious health condition. If your spouse has the higher benefit but poor health, claiming your own benefit early can provide income now, and later you can switch to survivor benefits. This creates financial support during a hard period. Fifth, market downturns. If the stock market falls sharply during retirement, relying on Social Security early can reduce the need to sell investments at a loss. It acts as a financial buffer and gives your portfolio time to recover. 6. Tax strategy. There may be periods when your taxable income is lower, letting you receive benefits with minimal taxation. Claiming earlier during those windows can improve tax efficiency. 7th, simply needing the money. Sometimes life circumstances make the choice for you. Unexpected expenses or financial strain may require immediate income, and it is meant to provide support. Consider a real-life example now. Sandra is 62 and recently retired. Her husband, 65, has the higher benefit but also a serious health condition. Sandra could wait for a higher payment, but she claims at 62 instead. When her husband passes at 69, she shifts to his larger benefit. By claiming early, she collected $176,000 that would otherwise have been unused. Of course, there are situations where waiting is useful, such as strong health, meaningful savings, or a spouse with a high benefit profile. In those cases, delaying can act like a guaranteed return. Ultimately, the question is not about finding the perfect age, but about choosing what works best for your life today. This decision depends on your health, family, finances, and priorities. Three practical takeaways can help guide you. First, test different scenarios and see how small changes affect outcomes. Second, think in terms of your household, not just yourself. Third, stay flexible as circumstances can change over time. Most importantly, remember this decision is not just a formula. It is a personal choice shaped by your situation.